so let's move on to our favorite reoccurring segment, our top fives. The past couple of weeks, we've done kind of theme top fives. Last week was top Brits. So sticking with the theme of themes.
I like themes of themes.
Themes of themes.
So what's the theme that we're going with? Is it fight related, area related, what?
So this one, it has to do with the fight card. Since we're looking at the BMF title, the baddest motherfucker title, Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. In honor of that, we're going to do the top 5 BMFs. So our top 5 baddest motherfuckers. Now, I think we sent the text out, we didn't talk, and we picked our top 5. So I think we both had different interpretations, but I think that's perfectly fine.
Dude, I blindly agreed to this, and you just had me stressed out for like 2 whole days of me scouring the internet trying to figure out, one, not to have a duplicate list of yours because I just don't know what you were going to put, and 2, just trying to fill the list. It was fun.
We did a good job of that because I took it as top 5 BMF MMA fighters, UFC fighters. You took it in general, which I like. I wish I would have thought of yours more. But we have our top 5s. We'll go from here. So let's kick it off. What's your number 5, Alex? Top 5 BMFs.
My top 5, my number 5, I should say, BMF is Mike Tyson.
Oh, Mike Tyson.
So
one of the scariest boxers of all time, most intimidating boxers.
Right, and if you Google baddest man on the planet, there's like 1,000 articles that come up that just say Mike Tyson. So that earned a lot. I mean, there was a documentary called The Baddest Man on the Planet, so that helped. But, with Mike Tyson, he proved that he bit a man's ear off on national TV.
Bit an ear off, had one punch power, told a guy he was going to eat his kids.
Yeah,
told another guy he was just going to straight up fuck him.
Right.
He's a bad motherfucker, and he's a scary motherfucker. And he still is, and he's like 60 years old.
Right. So that's my number 5. Who you got for your number 5?
I like your number 5 a lot. But like I said, I took the top 5 BMFs more of a MMA UFC fighter. So my number 5 is going to be the old school fighter, Don Fry.
He's about to come back, apparently.
This dude talking about he wants to fight Francis Ngannou, despite the fact that he's 60 years old. He's one of the original UFC fighters, early 90s fighters. He had a iconic fight. I don't even know who he fought against, but it was literally him and a guy grabbing each other by the shoulder and just exchanging punches. It's one of the most iconic MMA highlights of all time. He has some crazy, crazy sound clips recently calling fighters nowadays pussies, pretty much targeting Israel Adesanya, maybe a little racism, I don't know. But top 5 BMF, my number 5, Don Fry.
So that's that fight was Don Fry versus Yoshihiro Takayama.
Yeah, I think it was a pride fight actually.
Japan.
It
was a pride fight. It was.
But still, just like
crazy fight.
If you haven't seen that, go watch that because that is one of the most insane highlights you'll ever see.
So do I have my number 4 now?
I think your number 4 is up next.
All right. So my number 4, going back with my different interpretation of the list, I've got Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe Bean Bryant. My reason here, Kobe Bryant with the Mamba mentality, always outworking everybody. Basketball is just the one thing he chose to excel at. He was the kind of individual that whatever he decided to do, he was going to be the best at. He was just also naturally gifted to be like 7 feet tall, so it kind of helped steering him
like
towards basketball.
6'6", 6'7", but I get your point. But yeah, one of the best basketball players
over
of all
a foot
time.
Taller than me. That's tall enough.
One of the best basketball players of all time. Has one of the best mentalities and mental fortitude of all time.
Also, rest in peace, Kobe.
Rest in peace, Kobe. Yeah, I like your pick. I like your number 4. My number 4, I put the literal current BMF title holder. I put Jorge Masvidal, game bred. Like I said, he won the BMF title against Nate Diaz. He started in the streets, literally fighting in the streets with Kimbo Slice on YouTube. I don't think you can get more bad motherfucker than that. He's about as real as it gets. Punched Colby Covington in the face outside of a steakhouse, so you gotta like that. But yeah, my number 4, George Masvidal.
I like that number 4. With Masvidal, that's who the title was really made for, or
It was him versus Nate Diaz.
Right, and Nate, is just the old school badass, kind of fight anywhere, anytime. And Jorge, truthfully, would fight anywhere, anytime. He fought on the streets, like you said, with Kimbo Slice. He fought in backyards before it mattered. So I totally agree there. I can't argue, really at all.
All right, so who you got as your number 3 BMF?
My number 3
non-fighter?
BMF non-fighter, right? Going with my current theme is going to be Michael Jordan.
2 basketball players in a row.
Right.
You
So
don't strike me as an NBA fan.
and that's kind of why I put them. Michael Jordan and Kobe both, household names. Even non-basketball fans, know these guys. You could include, others as well, but these two are the ones for me, are just the baddest guys that played the game of basketball.
An ultimate winner.
Yeah, I mean,
He also played baseball too, which is impressive.
right, and kind of look at Bo Jackson in that sense. They
Deion
all
Sanders.
translated into a different sport, and that's so rare. Just with the fact of how often anybody goes to a major sport as it is.
Yeah, 2 pro sports is insane.
So
3 pros at 2 sports.
My number 3 being Michael Jordan. Couldn't have Kobe above him. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Forever.
Well, my number 3, sticking with my fighter theme, BMF. My number 3 is one of my favorite fighters, Max Blessed Holloway. This dude puts on some entertaining fights. He's another guy. He'll fight pretty much anybody. Puts on entertaining fights. He dominates most of them, except if he's fighting Alexander Volkanovski, apparently. Put on a war with Dustin Poirier that he lost a few years ago, but it was a great fight, not a bad showing from him. He beats up. He's one of those guys. Even Volk said it, like, stop beating up my prospects, because he's fighting these guys on their way up, and he's just ruining their title chances because he's dominating them so much. He's a cool dude. He's a funny guy. He seems laid back. He seems like a good guy. So Max Holloway, my number 3 BMF.
I like Max Holloway. He's a great fighter. Even, what is he now, 38? 37, 38?
No, dude, he's like 29, 30.
Jesus, he's been fighting for forever.
He came in the UFC when he was like 20.
That's crazy. It just, everybody's, we've been watching for so long, it feels like everybody's almost 40 now. But it's good to know that Max has a good, 10, 11 years left in the tank based on what he's been doing in the UFC. I really like that pick. It in my opinion, it doesn't really compare to my number 2.
Well, I haven't given you my number 2. Why would my number 3 compare to your number 2?
Well, because of who it is. I say my number 2 before you say your number 2. That's kind of why. Your number 2 also can't compare to my number 2. I don't care who your number 2 is. My number 2 is David Goggins.
He is a bad motherfucker. I don't know how he's not your number 1 if you had him on the list.
You'll see. So David Goggins is just...
I'm the David Goggins guy. You don't even like him.
Yeah, but you put me on to him. No,
that was a joke.
Yeah.
He's for everybody.
It's how are you going to gatekeep David Goggins, you bastard? No, David Goggins is great. Just sometimes when I'm cutting the grass, in my head, if I'm getting tired, I'm like, who's going to carry the boat, though? And, it makes me go those extra steps. It's really motivational. Calling yourself a bitch has never been more motivating.
It's so healthy, I feel like.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm a big David Goggins fan, so listen to both of his books. Big fan, so I can't hate on that. I don't know how he's not your number 1 if you're going to include him on the list.
You'll see. I told you. You'll see. Who's your number 2?
My number 2, probably the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter right now, Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, this guy's not afraid. He moved up, fought the guy nobody wants to fight, Islam. Arguably won the fight. He lost on the scorecard, but could have gone his way. Dominates his division. He dominated the last time, beat him 3 times. My number 3 guy, Max Holloway. Volk right now looks almost untouchable, especially at 145 in the UFC. He's an awesome dude. He's funny. He's just a bad motherfucker.
I really can't disagree there. I mean,
I love what he did to Brian Ortega too.
Yeah, and I mean, what he's done in the UFC kind of speaks for itself. He Did he move up to the pound for pound number one?
I don't know if he officially did. A lot of people have him pound for pound number
Right.
one.
So either way, it's either him or John Jones, pound for pound number
Or
one.
Islam is up there too.
Oh yeah, Islam could be number one as well. But anyway, top three pound for pound. I mean, just a brutal fighter. When he takes damage, he takes it clean. You know, he fights with respect.
We've never really seen him like crazy hurt.
I don't think he's ever been crazy hurt. I mean, I know he's lost, but you know, just to say in scope of the post haircut Volk,
Yeah, since
he's been unbeatable.
Championship run. But yeah, Volk my number 2. So who's your number 1 BMF?
That'd be Theodore Roosevelt.
Old Teddy.
Old Teddy. Listen, I was looking up people. You know,
he is a badass.
Who could be the baddest on the planet? And when I stumbled across Teddy, one of the things that really solidified it for me was the assassination attempt. You were aware of that story, right?
Yeah, he got shot before a speech, still went up, did the speech, and then in the speech was like, and I have a piece of lead in me, and they all laughed, but he was like, I'm not joking.
Right. He said, I don't know whether you fully understand that I have just been shot. That was the opening to his, his speech. That was the opening to the speech. So
that'll get people to listen, huh?
That was exactly how he tried to convey the emotion of what he was trying to speak to the crowd. So if you can't tell me that's not badass, I don't know what is.
I mean, he started the national parks. He was an outdoors guy.
But wait.
I love Teddy Roosevelt.
He went on to say, but it takes more than that to kill a bull moose.
Yeah.
Right?
One of the most... He has some crazy quotes, too.
That's crazy. So, the manuscript of his speech was bullet-ridden. You know, he was shot. He said, the bullet is in me, so I cannot take long, but I will do my best. He made his speech, was then rushed to the hospital.
He's a great president.
Survived. Great president. Father of the national parks. You know, a great helper to Native Americans and giving them their land back. In my opinion, the most badass American, the most badass person.
He's probably still regarded as, like, universally top 5 president of all time.
I mean, if only we could have something like, that back right now.
Yeah, like somebody like him, like
right.
A leader like that. Agreed.
Who's your number 1?
My number 1. So I took bad literally for this one. Bad motherfucker.
I like it.
So I have my number 1 is the greatest UFC MMA fighter of all time, John Jones. Untouchable. He became the youngest champ ever. I think he was 23. He's pretty much been champ ever since. He has something like 15 plus title fights, which is just insane. He hasn't legitimately lost in years, ever. He also has a crazy rap sheet where he's getting arrested, snorting coke, cheating on his wife, hitting his wife. So he's literally the worst motherfucker. But he's also the baddest motherfucker, one of the best fighters of all time. Not one of them. He is the best fighter of all time. Without a doubt, has the best resume of all time. My number 1, John Jones. John Jones would smoke Teddy Roosevelt in a fight.
Yeah, but it takes more than that to kill a bull moose, is all I have to say. I like John Jones. I like that as your number 1 in your category of badass people. I really can't argue with that. You know, once again, in the categories of what you're saying, he's not a great person, but he is a badass dude. Pound for pound, top 4, top 3.
You don't have to be a BMF. You don't have to be a good person to be BMF.
Oh, you're right. I like how we both interpreted the questions completely different. You can kind of see where the headspaces were when we were looking things up and thinking about where we wanted to go with this. I like the baddest motherfucker list.